we finally get to start the dialogue around Carter Verhaeghe in a moment. But before we do that, I've got a number of different things to get to as Greg Cote comes in today saying he feels good ever since leaving the show last week. He says that if there are any issues today with coughing and allergy, it's because he is allergic to me, because he has had a very good week. And he drove in so excitedly that Stugotz saw him in traffic and complimented Greg Cote on the way in by saying Greg Cote can really shoot a gap.
The man could drive.
Oh, yeah.
I am telling you, I spent nearly the entire drive, basically from 595 down, within 3 cars of Greg Cote. This man can shoot a gap like no other casual driver I've ever seen.
Chris Cote, I would say to you that that's going to be a very terrible thing when he ages even more than now and he becomes like my father, stubborn to give up driving.
Well, he's already struggling to get out of his Corvette. His Corvette's very low to the ground, and he's reached that point where it looks sad watching him get out of his Corvette.
Not true. That is not true.
He's climbing out.
It takes all the hands, all the legs, and a lot of power just to... God, and there's a noise involved with it.
You guys suck. This should be a celebration of Greg. He's in today. He's feeling good. Why kick the man when he's getting back up from being down?
All I said is the man can drive.
Not you.
That's
not
it.
you.
Thank you.
No, his son is the biggest offender.
Right. He's also wearing the same shirt he wore last Tuesday to the Heat game.
Here we go.
Am I? Who keeps track?
Yeah, what's your deal?
Who keeps track of wardrobe? I don't.
There are a number of things, okay, that are worthy of dragging around here. I have not taken nearly enough of a beating, although I've been taking a beating for 3 days about this, about how I went dressed to Formula One. Greg Cote came in here, and this is the low point. This is the absolute rock bottom for me of my life, not just fashionably, but in general. Greg Cote came in here and said that on his podcast, the Greg Cote Show featuring Greg Cote, he mocked my appearance.
I did.
I will get to that in a second. I don't know what's more mockable, that or Mike Ryan having a conversation about how he believes that Hard Rock as a facility, he would put it up against any in the world, any time in history, and was not fazed when someone offered him as rebuttal the Coliseum. He was not, like, he just kept mowing ahead, and Greg Cote agrees with you. He thinks the Hard Rock, he comes in and he says, Stephen Ross may be corrupt, he's a terrible Dolphin owner, but man, he built a facility.
Yes.
He built a facility that can house a lot of different shit.
Oh, yeah.
Mike's been saying that in his defense. He's been saying that for nearly a year. Like, Mike loves that place.
Yeah, it's great. He can do some capital improvement, that guy Ross.
I'll preface this by saying I've never been to the Coliseum, but it gives me Orange Bowl vibes. Like, just kind of old, dilapidated, falling apart.
Right.
Probably needs to be knocked down and built a new one there. You know what I mean?
I have been to the Coliseum. It's overrated.
Too many tours. Too many tours.
That's what I'm saying.
Coliseum's a dump.
Just a bunch of people with flags walking around.
I mean, let's pump some money into this thing. You know what I mean?
If you thought the parking for F1 was bad, holy shit.
Put it on the poll.
There's not even a Jumbotron, I understand.
No.
What?
There isn't a good seat in the house.
Antiquated.
This building was built 1,942 years ago.
That's right.
What happens when it rains? What happens when it rains?
Greg?
Put a roof on that thing.
There's not much of it left. I mean, it really is just...
It's a shithole. Just say it. The Coliseum, and Juju will quote this, the Coliseum's a shithole.
Yep.
Okay.
It needs a Stephen Ross makeover, the Coliseum.
I was going to ask the question, is the Coliseum overrated? But you've now upgraded to, is the Coliseum a total shithole?
It's not even the best Coliseum in sports.
That's right, Nassau.
I put the Nassau Coliseum over that shithole in Rome.
Yeah.
I mean, the Oakland Coliseum.
Oh, wow.
Wow. The
Hang on
Oakland
a second.
Coliseum.
I draw the line at the Oakland Coliseum. On television, that place looks like a hole.
It looks sad.
Yeah, I'm with Whitty.
It looks like a cavern. I don't understand it. You step into the Oakland Coliseum and you have stepped into 1978. It's weird.
It's a good time, though.
It's just a strange portal, though.
But the actual Coliseum, you step into 78, so.
I want to talk about this hockey game because, good God.
Wow.
That was not fun. last night to watch any of
I
that.
thought you loved that.
Oh no, I do
Feel
love
alive.
it.
Pressure.
I do love it, but I've only got so much bandwidth for sports, and I can't give it to hockey too. I can't be up like, oh my God, are you kidding me? I got to worry about an open net with 3 minutes left in my evening. Not 3 minutes left in the game. 3 minutes in, I want to go to bed. I gotta worry about an open net. I gotta worry about 3 overtimes.
They gave you a little bonus hockey last night.
That was a pivotal missed empty net. That was icing that led to the goal.
Yeah.
Pivotal miss. That was a mistake on the Capitals' part.
Roy, Bruno, big balls. Am I right?
Yeah. Yes, big balls.
Is
Gotta be
Bruno
aggressive
the
there.
coach?
Yeah, Bruno's
Yeah.
coach.
Okay, good.
Andrew Burnett. That's his actual name.
For what? Pulling the goalie that early? Or
Well, yeah, he's always aggressive
Yes.
with pulling the goalie early, and it paid off this time. And I was saying some mean things about Coach Bruno prior to.
They don't look the same. That might have been their best game of the series, just in terms of controlling the game.
Yes, controlling the puck. Right.
And they felt like they were going to lose to an 8 seed with 3 minutes left in that game. It felt like, oh my God, this is the best offensive team in the league, and the entire series has been played the way Washington, the 8 seed, wants to play it. Just drag, like this has not looked like, and anyway, nobody watching this hockey team would say over the last 4 games, oh yeah, that's the best offensive team in hockey. Oh, that team broke the NHL record for comebacks. Broke the record. Nobody would see over what the last 4 games have been and said, that's a special team, that's a historic team. The power play, making nothing on the power play. You guys show me where Huberdeau's a superstar. I know he's great, but you have not seen these things. And none of the things that make the Panthers special have been seen to capture America in the first 4 games of this series.
But it's only been 4 games. Like last night was a big pressure release for this team. I think you'll see it moving forward here because they knew they had to win that game. There was doubt as to whether they would win that game.
Stugotz.
Dan, it's been 4 games.
They knew they had to win it.
And you saw it in game 2.
They knew they had to win it, and with 3 minutes left, they were 4 feet from an open net goal of having this season be the greatest.
No, that wasn't 4 feet.
Post.
Yeah, it went off the side of the net.
Yep.
That was not 4 feet.
They were very close to simply losing the game because 3 minutes left. It would have gone from the most exciting season in Panther history to the most disappointing season.
Right. Although, even down 3-1, I don't think you would have written the Panthers off. I wouldn't have. They've won 3 in a row or more 10 times this season. And
hockey's weird.
And hockey's weird. 8 beating 1 in hockey and teams coming back from 3-1 in hockey is not the abnormality it is in the NBA, statistically. I mean,
agreed, but they've showed you nothing in this series that would suggest to you that they could turn play the game differently than Washington wants it to be played. They've shown you nothing in this series, even at 2-2, and they were that close to having that season ended last night.
Well, the glaring issues are still there. They're still taking terrible penalties. And as you said, the power play is not there.
How are they 0 for 13 on the power play? Since when? This is a historic offense.
Although you do treat that extra attacker as a power play, so hopefully they'll take that momentum into the next game and say, hey, we can do this with the extra man.
Yeah, but they also weren't just dilly-dallying around in their own neutral zone. I feel like they've milked half the time on these power plays just trying to initiate an offense. Just go.
Be
aggressive.
Right. Baby steps. They were better on the power play today, even though they last night, even though they didn't score. At least they got puck movement on these power plays, but it's getting better.
Roy, they're very lucky to be tied 2-2. They're tied at 2 despite not having played their own game. I know they blew them away in game 2. That game really snowballed after a lucky deflection on that first goal because it was looking like deja vu. The Washington Capitals have absolutely imposed their will on the Florida Panthers. There's nothing going in the middle of the ice. They aren't keeping the pressure up. They're never on the front foot against Washington Capitals. Washington Capitals, despite only having like 13 shots during regulation, are absolutely dictating the style of play right now.
And the Panthers' transition offense actually was better in this game. The 2 Verhaeghe goals came on the transition.
Thank God for Bob. Because Bob shut the door on 3
breakaways. Like
3. You need your goalie to be special to win any type of series in playoff hockey, even if it's against the 8 seed. And he absolutely was a great equalizer.
And 2 of those breakaways coming from a guy coming out of the penalty box after the power play.
Ridiculous.
Can't happen.
Roy, though,
Room full of hockey experts, huh? Who knew?
I need to attack. I need to attack Roy here.
Panthers needed to attack. All right, hockey.
Yeah. What I do.
There are 2 reasons I need to attack you, Roy. One, is get out of here with baby steps. This is not baby step season anymore.
No.
This team, it's history, and no. We'll learn from that. No, you could have lost that game last night, and if you have not been yourself. You've been stripped down by an 8 seed into you are not special offensively because this is the playoffs now, and what you did in the regular season is not enough. But the next thing I'm going to make fun of you about is you cannot go 0 for 13 on the power play, pull the goalie, and then have you say that it leads to momentum in the next game because they'll be better at the power play because they scored with the man advantage when they had dozens of Panthers. Brian Scrudlin was on the ice at the end, rushing the net because they were panicked trying to save their season.
But Roy can say that because Roy is the only person who has followed this team from start to finish every single year. He's the only person who knows hockey.
I am not disputing.
I mean, all of a sudden you're Barry Melrose.
I am not disputing his expertise. I am disputing that there is any expertise in baby steps. That there's any expertise in they'll have momentum now that they're 0 for 13 on the power play, but in one panic situation, 3 minutes left in the game, they tried to save their season.
I will say Washington is not a typical number 8 seed. They scored 100 points during the regular season. That's a really good, in a bunched Eastern Conference, that's a really good 8th seed with Ovechkin, obviously. But the idea that they're actually over 14 on the power play, been outscored by 5 goals on special teams. It's a miracle that they're coming home 2-2. They should be coming home 3-1. And the thing that's disconcerting to me is that the interim coach has been saying the whole series that they're playing nervous, that they're playing tentative. Washington obviously is more experienced in the postseason, but I think Florida, last night for the first time, Roy, correct me if I'm wrong, the puck possession was really good. I mean, they looked a little bit like the Panthers we've seen all regular season last night for the first time. So I think any nerves they've had are finally over. And I think they're the Panthers again.
The release of pressure. That's what I said. I mean, Dan was cutting me off, but that was a big spot. Like you're doubting. Can we do this? Are we this good? And then last night you win a game that you're really not supposed to win. That's not the way this team plays, but they got it done anyway. And you'd like to think moving forward that you'll see the team that played in the regular season.
There is great soothing in winning, obviously, but what isn't soothing, Stugotz, is I'm telling you that everything about last night could have been exactly the same, and the puck could have been 2 inches different, and we are talking today about this is the worst disappointment that we've gotten from a hockey team in this city since we've been watching it.
But it wasn't. So let's be happy.
We won.
Bill Buckner could have made that play, and then the Red Sox would have won, but he didn't. So let's celebrate the Panthers.
Yeah, they
won a game. They didn't play their game.
They're
going to learn
out.
from that. Baby feet.
Exactly.
Yeah, they grinded out a playoff win.
Exactly.
That's it. We were always worried about it when the tempo changes in the playoffs. Are the Panthers going to know how to win grinders? And they absolutely won a grinder last night. It was encouraging. That Carter Verhaeghe goal was massive for this team. I don't think they come back from 3-1 down. I wasn't taking positives from that second period because they had 6 consecutive minutes of a man advantage, so of course they're going to have possession. It was ultimately a very disappointing performance with the season on the line, but they did what they had to do to get it done. They're back 2-2. Now it's 2 out of 3 with 2 of the games at home.
Yep.
I don't think they lose another game in the whole playoffs.
I agree.
They found their footing, and they're back.
Yep. Take off.
I don't trust you. I don't trust your tone in your voice.
What do you mean?
I don't trust you.
I was watching last night. I texted
congratulations.
Lewis and Tony about it. You can ask them. They can read it. I was watching.
One last thing from last night's game
said.
to address. TJ Oshie better be suspended or fined.
For the high hit.
Go ahead goal. That was
Terrible missed call
was
by
a
the
shoulder
Zebras.
right to the skull. Shoulder right to the skull. It wasn't even part of the conversation until well after on the national broadcast. I was very disappointed by that.
Oh, my God.
It was a goal that was born out of an illegal hit.
I agree.
Even though I struggle to know what is an illegal hit in hockey.
No.
I have no idea what a penalty is. When you're watching hockey and there's a hit that high, it's like surely that's a penalty. I don't know if it
What do you
is.
knowing about Billy?
No, after he did what he did in the Olympics, he's got carte blanche. He can kind of do whatever he wants.
I'm with
now.
you.
Yeah.
I'm kind of with you. TJ Oshie, great American.
Yeah, he's an American hero, Roy.
He is.
can
Yes.
do whatever he
He
wants.
is.
What
yeah.
do you do?
Roy, what is
he
happening?
do?
She can you see?
He scored one of the most important goals in hockey history, right after Arizioni.
Roy, what is happening with your distrust of Billy?
He's being sarcastic. I don't like it.
How dare
he doesn't
you?
actually believe this. Come on. Believe.
I do believe. I don't think they're going to lose another game. You're here. You guys are like, they're going to lose. They're going to lose. I'm like, no, they're going to win.
Mm-hmm. What if they lose? You're going to come
Win
back.
Cats. Papa John's, man, 50% off.
Oh, that's what it's all about. You want the pizza. Okay.
I want him to win the cup because I want to be proven right that this President's Cup was a joke of a cup. You know what I mean?
It's not a cup. It's a trophy.
The annoying thing is when these officials kick somebody out of a face-off, it's so subjective.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, oh, you know what? You annoy me. You get out of here.
Yeah.
It's like he's our best. Lundell's our best face-off guy. You're just kicking like it just like doesn't seem consistent when they kick someone out, when they don't. It's just like I don't like you. Get out of here.
Yeah. This indeterminate, you went too early or you didn't go too early. Now you come out. Now, yesterday there was a standoff, 3 guys circling it around. Who's going to go in? It's ridiculous.
Willy Nilly. You know what I love about Lundell? Here's what I love about hockey. He can't grow a playoff beard because he doesn't shave yet. I love that. 20 years old. Amazing. Literally does not shave yet.
Incapable.
Yep.
Willy Nilly.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Willie. Oh,
Yeah.
William.
Yeah. I actually had a friend. You're going to think I'm bullshitting.
You are.
In junior high school, I had a friend called Bill Nilly, and we used to call him Willy Nilly.
Really?
100%.
Billy Nil.
Bill Nilly.
Yep.
It's absolutely true. I know it sounds like I'm making that up. I'm not.
What's he up to?
Yeah, it is a fact check. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Bill Nilly. I'd forgotten about him.
Any siblings for the Nillies? Or?
You know, I didn't know him that well. I'm not sure. He was a glue sniffer.
Yeah.
Nilly. Yeah. That was glue sniffing was big back
Elmer's.
when I was
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, they put it in a bag, like a paper bag, and sniffed it. It wasn't the Elmer's. It was the glue they used in like art class and everything. But not Elmer's. It was like
More paste. Yeah.
it was like a
Paste sniffer.
brown
Yeah.
glue or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
brown
terrible.
glue, yeah.
A friend of mine died from sniffing glue. It's terrible. Not Nilly.
No.
Somebody else. Yeah, he's in the 1440 neighborhood. I drive by his house all the time. His name was Joey. I'm not going to say his last name in case his kin are listening. What? Le Batard's staring at me. What's going on? I didn't mean to derail the show. You're the one who brought up Willy Nilly, and it jogged a memory in me.
You asked him.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
You brought up Willy Nilly.
No.
Well, I said
He
it.
just said it.
But then Dan
Dan had a
reminded me
follow-up.
that Bill Nilly
Bill
was
Nilly, yeah.
a
And
friend of mine.
Joey.
Yeah, Joey. Yeah.
Rest his soul.
Yeah, indeed. Yep.
Rest in power.
But Lundell, man, what a kid.
Yeah,
Hasn't even
man.
shaved yet. Hell of a player. Right?
Yeah, I love him.
Yeah. Anton.
Great name.
I don't know about that.
It's just in your ear.
Oh, was it? Billy said Joey never shaved, and he may be right.
You know
sadly.
what? Let me go back for a second and explain to the audience what happened there because
I thought he was talking to me.
No.
Anton, great name.
You guys don't understand what just happened there, which is Greg at this point in his career, as he shoots the gaps on the way in a way that scares me because he doesn't know he's an old person.
Right. I'm the Max Verstappen of I-95.
He thinks he's 30. He does not know his age.
I followed you all the way to work, man. You were throwing blocks for me.
Okay.
Thank you.
But this man sped into work today to destroy this show. And the way that he just did it magically is because he doesn't know who is talking to him when. He does not know who is here, who is not here, and he does not know when things said on his headset are not said on the air. Now, I need to preface what I'm saying with a story that happened legitimately as I came in to prepare for the show today. And I looked at Greg and I couldn't believe what happened with Greg. But before I get to that, Billy, you want to explain to people what just happened there as you were trying to help Greg Cote by whispering something in his ear, and he was answering you instead as if he was having a private conversation with you when no one could hear what you were saying other than him.
Well, we were memorializing Greg's lost friend Joey from, when he was a child in the 1440 neighborhood. We're talking about Bill Nilly, another acquaintance, we'd say. You wouldn't say he was a friend, right?
No, he was a buddy,
Yeah, a glue sniffer, buddy, not a close friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we were talking about the Panther player that he claims can't shave, and then I probably made a tasteless joke in his ear about Joey who passed away sniffing glue.
And he
we said he
responded to
couldn't.
you.
He also didn't shave. Yeah.
Right.
He responded to you, but the reason I bring it all up is because this is how my day started, and I'm not making this up, okay? I was in a room alone, and I was celebrating that Greg Cote has learned over the last 6 weeks to a month how to arrive on time. And it has been delightful to see him first thing in the morning. And so for 5 blessed, serene minutes, Greg Cote and I were alone in this studio. We were not talking. We were in our papers and whatnot. And Greg Cote said out loud, "I am." I look up to see if someone was in his headphones. There were no headphones on. He was saying, "I am." And I'm like, "Who are you talking to?" And he said, "Well, I had just asked myself if I was going to go home before the Heat game tonight." And
Good question.
Yeah.
And the literal voices in Greg Cote's head, he was answering them. And now I want you to mention
It'd be polite not to answer.
that's already happening to him
Impolite.
during
Yeah,
the
that's
show.
right.
He's that self-involved, okay? He's having conversations with himself. Once the show starts, he doesn't know where any of you are. He doesn't understand the Zoom. Amin's going to appear any minute here, and he's going to be confused by that.
Yeah.
He doesn't know who's in front of him, who's behind him. He doesn't know who's talking in his ear and who is on air.
Let me ask you something. How am I, when I hear Billy's voice, how am I supposed to know whether it's on the air or whether it's to me privately? Tell me.
Because
Educate
you
me.
can hear it in your ears differently because it is somebody here that's talking to you. It sounds a little bit different than the show audio of the show when we're all talking into microphones. It's someone who is talking in just your ear.
And it's usually when someone else is talking. Somebody else is talking,
Right.
he's feeding you a line, so you hear 2 things at once.
Nah. But I interrupt people all the time. We should come
Thanks,
up with
Billy.
a code word, Greg, so that you know if I'm just saying something to you. I think before we did Apple one time. We need to come up with something.
But
Yeah.
Billy, this is one
That's
of
a
the
good
things
idea.
that's
Yeah.
happening in the evolution of the show, and you're just general evil cat anarchy. I don't
I'm a
believe
dog.
that you were in Greg's ear that much before. Like, Greg does not do well with these. I thought you guys knew. Mike, haven't you tripped over 7 speed bumps with Greg when you're talking to just him and you talk to him less in his ear because he doesn't know what's on air and what's not?
I try to whisper. I try to disguise my voice. It's still in Greg's defense, he's only been doing this for 12 years.
Thank you,
Exactly.
Mike. Thank you.
He's also
Took me 15 to
Well,
learn.
hold on
Thank
a
you,
second.
Mike.
He's also dealing with the loss of Joey, and he's had some health things the past couple
Yeah.
weeks. He's
Billy
just kind
knows.
of getting right back in the swing of things.
Yeah.
Let's focus on the positives. He looks great. He sounds great.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
he smells great too.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel
And he
great.
can hit a gap.
Yep.
He can do Eisner again.
Really?
Whoa!
Eisner is strong.
Yeah.
Eisner can come back.
I'm telling you,
This
it's a miracle.
Drunken, angry Mickey Mouse has been retired because your voice cannot summon drunk, angry
Right.
Mickey Mouse. Please tell me. We've been wanting to use him for 18 months for totally not specified reasons. Just we've missed him for 18 months. We've wanted your Mickey Mouse,
Yeah.
drunk and angry.
Drunk Mickey may make an appearance next week. I got to work on. I don't want to push it. You know, I want to feel confident in my voice, but right now we're tracking positively.
We've got a top 5 list, Stugotz, and we have been remiss in not mentioning before now that we have in basketball not just a playoff series, but we've got Mike Ryan, Homer Mike Ryan, who has annoyed you for many, many years, loving his Miami Heat. He did not show up for work yesterday. I don't know if he was running scared. I don't know if he was hurt. I don't know if he had just simply snorted the entirety of the weekend and it was too much because it's been a lot around here. But you are now getting bombarded, Mike Ryan, from many angles because Philadelphia is saying, okay, now what's it going to be when the season is 3 games, when it's 3 quarters, when it's 3 minutes, when it's 3 seconds, and we have Embiid and he changes what Bam is. Because he's bigger and stronger than Bam, and Bam doesn't run into a lot of that. Like, even on Giannis, it ain't bigger and stronger than him. This is bigger and stronger than Bam, and it means, like, why is Bam terrified all of a sudden? Why is he shooting 70% when, against all the other Sixers, dunks, slams, but now it's 40-something% when Embiid's on the floor. Why is that happening? And somebody is writing to you, Mike Ryan, as they see this is the question about Miami all season.
Because he's not DeAndre Jordan?
Correct. Correct, because he's the MVP, because Bam doesn't run into a lot of this is bigger, stronger, faster, better than me.
Right.
And it's a hard thing to learn, and that's an alpha world, and Bam is super athletic. It's like, dunk, dunk, dunk. Everyone's scared of me. Oh, this dude's not. This dude's stronger than me. And Bam is fronting the hell out of him and is plenty strong. But Bam is not used to running into a Brahma bull who's stronger than him. And around the rim, he doesn't look quite the same. Is he seeing shadows? What's happening out there? The game has changed when it's not DeAndre Jordan, and he knows DeAndre's not going to do anything about this shot. Now it's Embiid, and it feels different. And now it's the alpha clash at the top. Hey, Bam, you're a really good player. Are you this good?
Yeah. Embiid's a better player than Bam Adebayo. We knew that going into this. Heat were lucky that Embiid was injured the first 2 games. Supposed to be injured the third game. Got designated out. Wasn't. Got put in.
What was that?
The Sixers got fined for it.
$50K.
I mean, look, you gotta
Desperation. That's what it was.
If this series was going to come down to Embiid versus Adebayo, you'd been effed. That's not how the Miami Heat win games. Frankly, the Miami Heat need to hit open shots.
Yep.
They're not hitting open shots. And I know Philadelphia wasn't really hitting open shots and struggling from 3 in the first 2 games. All the road teams in this series have really struggled from outside. And it's going to come down to Miami Heat have 2 out of these 3 games possibly remaining in this series at home. They need to hit their shots. And I'm embarrassed to say this.
Oh, no.
But I think we should probably kick the tires on Duncan Robinson.
Okay, hold on.
I agree.
gotta stop you.
Totally agree.
Give him 5 minutes. Let him
Need a
run
story.
around.
Yes.
Let's see what he can do.
Who
The
said
Robinson
this yesterday?
minutes.
Somebody
Yeah.
else said this was Stugotz
Me.
yesterday.
Yeah.
I've
Okay.
written it. Yes, I agree.
You know me and where I stand on Duncan Robinson, but I do think
Look.
the threat of Duncan Robinson, the fact that he's close to a 40%, I think he is a 40% three-point shooter over the course of his career. This team is really struggling from 3. I mean, I'd rather have him missing it than Victor Oladipo missing it. So let's give him 5 minutes and let's see what he can do.
Let's look. I have to stop you, okay?
Why?
Because Mike Ryan was stomping around after Trae Young. Stomping around. Here we go, playoffs. Let's go. I'm the big bad one Heat. You've disrespected me. And now after 2 games against Philadelphia, it's swagger. This is easy. Oh, look, James Harden. They make him look just like Trae Young. They can do that to people. But someone just got to the game, Stugotz. And this is how stardom is made in this sport, with Embiid coming to tell the stories of I'm concussed, I'm wearing a mask. And Kawhi Leonard made me cry. And the Miami Heat, team, with Jimmy Butler playing great and going right at Embiid, is a team to be reckoned with and feared, and Mike has not respected this team all year.
I still don't.
In its many permutations.
I still don't. They won 2 games at home.
Yep.
Embiid, we knew entering this series, was the best player in this series. James Harden absolutely lifted them in that fourth quarter, hitting crazy threes. Every time the Miami Heat were starting to get within 2 possessions of that game, Harden would hit a crazy contested 3. He was great that game. The Miami Heat should have won that game if they just play merely a bad game from open spots.
They held serve, Dan. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
All they did was win 2 home games. I mean,
That's not all they did. They have the emotion of Embiid coming back and rallying the troops, and you've let this franchise back into it and their fans back into it, and it's fine.
Stugotz, my point is, it's best of 3 now.
Yeah.
They've played 4 games.
2 at home.
No, but it's best of 3 now. They've played 4 games, and whatever Mike was for 6 games of these playoffs is now, please put in Duncan Robinson.
I think you're changing exactly how I'm handling this. I said I'd like to see Duncan Robinson run around for a couple minutes, see what he can do. I'm not hinging this series on Duncan Robinson, Dan. Look into my eyes, Dan. Look in my eyes. I know what you're trying to do, speak for the audience and try to bring out cocky Mike because he hasn't been there playing your game. I'm not a little monkey.
You weren't
that's
here
gonna dance
yesterday.
around for
You were hiding
I was
yesterday.
performing my civic duty,
You were
Dan.
hiding from the Sixers?
Yeah, exactly. And their fans. No, dude, it's basketball. It's tied 2-2.
Yep.
They're the higher seed. They got a game tonight at home. They should win that game. If they don't win that game, all hands on deck, and I'm going to be panicking. But I expect them to win this game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good. The playoffs are hard.
Right.
The playoffs are hard.
They're
man.
winning tonight. Home game, M. Factor. We've been over this.
In 2 games in a row, 2 losses in a row, where they've shot 15 of 65 from 3 land, I don't know the argument against giving Duncan Robinson a shot. Give him a shift or two. Give him 5 minutes.
Just to see if he's hot. That's
Maybe
it.
he pops 3 in a row.
Yep.
And it's the spark you need in 2 games like that.
I think the argument would be eventually that's going to come around. Duncan or no Duncan, eventually they're going to start hitting their threes.
The thing I'd like to just stop you guys on, because I was making fun of, in the series between the Nuggets and the Warriors. And the Nuggets have a player like Embiid, but they just have one. And Aaron Gordon out of nowhere was trending yesterday because everyone's making fun of him that Jokic won the MVP because that was his teammate. Like that, the difference between, they're not looking at the analytics. They're just saying, like, whatever Embiid had around him, it was better than Aaron Gordon. And Jokic in that series, because Denver's like, you've got what we mentioned, right? You got Jokic is this King Kong climbing a building. We've never seen a player like him. 7-foot loaf of bread. How's he doing everything, controlling everything? And around him, he's got soaring 4 fighter pilots of Golden State Warriors shooting from every angle, and he doesn't have a chance against it. And Reggie Miller says, I think they should play Jokic and Boogie Cousins at the same time for just a minute. Let him run around out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, that is desperation. That's when you can't do it. When you start fishing around for that stuff, it's because you don't have enough confidence in who you are.
Playing a $19 million player that is 40% from 3 in the postseason isn't some sort of desperate move. He had a good game this postseason, found himself out of the rotation. You're not putting him there, I think, presumably for defensive breakdowns. But what you're getting from your other 3-point shooters, your 3-and-D guys, isn't matching the production to actually rationalize taking him out there, I guess.
Right. You have to delineate. This is playing Duncan Robinson is not in breaking glass in an emergency and playing Markieff Morris for 3 minutes. They do that because they have to. They play Duncan Robinson because they need a spark. 15 for 65 is beyond awful from 3. Even Hero has not been reliable. Duncan Robinson is sitting there with 3s on his hand. Give him a shot.
It's just 5 minutes. You seem very concerned. We're just asking, hey, 5 minutes of Duncan Robinson. You don't want to give the man 5 minutes? I mean, let him have 5 minutes. See if he's hot. If he's not, you put him on the bench.
I don't want to see Duncan Robinson out there.
What? Well, we need to.
I don't want to see him and have his friend ask him, oh, man, it's so cool. Joel Embiid knows who you are. Oh, my God, can you believe it, guy? You're in the NBA. You shouldn't be here. You shouldn't be here at all. What are you doing here? Oh, my God, Duncan, are you stressed? Are you stressed because you haven't played at all in forever and now they want you to play? I don't want that guy. He's scared. I don't want anyone scared. You know who I want to see more of? I said this yesterday, Mike. Caleb Martin. Why has this guy played 2 minutes in the last 2 games? Why is Victor Oladipo earning all of this trust and respect?
I don't understand the Oladipo thing at all. It's because he had a crazy plus-minus against the Atlanta Hawks, and Heat fans have been hinging a lot of hopes on him. Defensively, he is an absolute shell of what he was before. He's a tall guy, and when he's on ball, I guess the aesthetics of that make you happy in Heat Twitter, but in terms of team defense, the guy's absolutely slacking. I don't trust him at all when he's out there.
The Duncan Robinson thing is awkward, though, because I can see where Mike is coming from. Because if you can't hit a shot, or everyone is shooting blanks, I think you got to, at some point, say, well, can I sneak him in there? Can he guard Matisse Thybulle? Can he match up with Matisse Thybulle for a few minutes?
Can you get 5 minutes?
Five minutes with someone trash offensively out there on the floor, which Philadelphia, by the way, has no shortage of. I just want to point that out. Like, let's not pretend like they're just a team of assassins.
Well,
out
they
there.
don't really have a fourth guy, right? They don't like a fourth. I mean, you could say Tobias Harris, I suppose, but like you're not afraid of anybody out there. We saw the first 2 games of this series when they were relying on James Harden. You could send 3 guys out to stop James Harden, and maybe Tobias will get you 25, and you're the Orlando Magic of 7 years ago.
Yes, and so it's not impossible to play Duncan Robinson. If Duncan Robinson weren't someone who's terrified of moments. And that's the thing that I look at him with doubt with. Like, I don't know if this is the guy to save it. Like, if this isn't Eddie House.
Do you guys realize we're a year removed
from
him scoring 27 in a finals game they won? We're a year removed from that.
Yeah. I would say this is a good opportunity to get his confidence going. I would seize the opportunity to say, all right, we're struggling from 3. You bury a couple of shots. you can get your confidence back. He seems to be a player that can fluctuate wildly depending on how it's going on upstairs. So
as a team, they just need to see a couple go through. And once they see that, and Duncan gives them the best chance of a couple going through, and once they see it, you'll see.
They don't need to play Duncan Robinson. I'd like to see if they continue to struggle from three. I gotta believe, they're not going to continue to struggle from three in this fashion. But
I don't think you guys understand how you sound after so much bravado. After Chris Cote 2 games ago it doesn't even feel like the playoffs have started. As Philadelphia started to feel like the Atlanta series because you didn't think that can happen. You guys are now making the moves of relying on guy you already doubt who you say doubts because you've begun to doubt the people who got you here and how they shoot because the last 2 games have shaken your confidence there because it's been that shitty a shooting performance.
Can I rewind my argument from yesterday? Thank you, Billy. Bam looks scared.
Yeah, you can't play him.
Bam looks scared, and I get it, Embiid isn't DeAndre Jordan, but when you're that caliber of player, you don't get to say, well, he's better than me. What do you want me to do? Like, you're supposed to be a star. You're supposed to go out there and punch him in the mouth, figuratively.
But Dan is right. Like, when you go to the player who's not playing, that means you're desperate and looking for answers.
Do you realize how you guys sound after 6 games of swagger?
If you think about the Heat season, as you mentioned yesterday, they lead the NBA in three-point shooting in the regular season. The guys who aren't making shots, Strus, 41%, Hero, 40%, Tucker, 41.5%, Oladipo, 42%, Lowry, 38%. In Philadelphia, 56 of your threes were open or wide open, according to NBA.com/stats. So you're 12 of 56 on open threes. You trust the percentages to flip, and you keep trusting the guys that got you there. The desperate solution off the bench from a guy who hasn't played in 6 games is not where the answer is.
I'm sorry.
He helped you get there.
I missed the part where Oladipo got you there.
Yeah. Right.
When did he get us there? Well, this guy he hadn't played all year long.
He's a 42% three-point shooter
Yeah,
in this season.
7 shots. He hadn't played all year long.
You're co-signing Dan's ridiculous projection of a panic that simply isn't there.
No panic.
Here's my panic. I want to let Duncan Robinson run around for 5 minutes, see if he banks a 3.
That's it.
That's all.
Yep.
You sound panicked. You sound panicked.
Let me ask you something.
Look at me. Spark off the bench.
Calmer than a Hindu cow right now, this guy over here. I'm totally good.
Exactly.
I think you can say it.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody writes in, I'm over Mike Ryan talking up Miami like some superpower team. What will be his excuse when they don't even make the conference finals? The Miami room temperatures are the most overrated one seed in professional sports history. NBA royalty, they're barely court jesters.
You got to give it to him. He's good. I have no rebuttal.
He got you, huh?
I see the rest of my time, sir.
I don't think the Heat are going to lose another game the rest of the playoffs.
I got a top 5.
Room temp.
I got a top 5 moments in American hockey.
Hold on a second.
Hold on.
Whoa. What do you have?
Breaking news.
What?
Breaking news.
What?
This fraud, Nick Wright.
Oh, wow.
We just revealed the line to get into Club Superstar. And Tatum is in, 80 is out. Full club revealed at 9:15 on First Things First on FS1. Artwork by Pure Hoop. And it is a picture of a bouncer outside of a club with players lined up trying to get in. Oh, I'm sorry. Like the MVP bar, Nick Wright? The one that me and Zach Harper have been talking about for 2 damn years? You just gonna steal our whole bit.
He stole the whole
You're
thing.
gonna steal our whole
He
bit.
stole
Look at
the
that.
whole
Let me see the
Nick Wright.
That's
That's
literally
not
the
cool.
graphic for the club segment
he's
that
a
we
thief.
do.
This is
Oh,
exactly.
He's a thief.
Where's the camera?
He stole my
Nick
Struzkow
Wright.
idea.
No, Nick
That's my
Wright.
Struzkow graphic.
Oh
gag.
my God,
Yeah.
Nick Wright, you fraud!
He stole my idea for his show.
You
First
can't
Things
wait a
First.
minute.
Somebody wake Zach Harper up on the West Coast.
You grifter, Nick Wright. He's just stealing shit now outright and putting
Yes.
it on Fox as he tries to escalate a ridiculous wrestling man television.
This is what he did. He changed MVP to Superstar, and he changed it from a bar to a club. And that's it. That's your
not
change.
right.
I got to
That's
be
not
honest.
right.
That's well done by Nick. I mean,
Nick Wright also stole my back in my day idea, by the way.
Did he?
Yeah, he did.
wow.
What did he call his?
What does he call it, Christopher?
Oh wow, Chris.
Okay,
Chris
way
is
to
not listening.
defend your
not
idea.
even here.
Way to defend your idea well, Greg, while talking to somebody who's not here, proving my point that you
I
don't
didn't know he
know
wasn't
who's here
I
and
didn't
who's
know he
not
wasn't
here.
Right. He stole back in my day, and just as with Amin, he just gave it a slightly different name.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Nick Wright is a known grifter and gambler, dirty person. And he has been a fan of our show for a long time. And now he's just outright stealing things and taking them over to Fox. Because we
unveil, he said, unveil. Like it's this brand new innovation. Never been seen before. Wait, hold on. Let me take, it has like a blanket or a sheet over it. And then you guys ready? And he pulls the sheet and drops it. Oh, Club Superstar. Never seen one of those before.
Yep. That's Nick wrong.
I'm not upset.
Yeah.
I
That's a
am.
bad joke.
I knew it was coming.
I was waiting for it.
Yeah,
I thought
me,
I
right.
thought he was going to try and get in there with the lamest of insults.
Love
Nick
you.
Wright will
Thank
be
you very
flattered
much.
by how bad that joke is.
He needs to be Nick Left.
How mad are you right now? I mean, how mad? How mad are you? Because this is legitimate thievery. This is an idea. You guys have been doing this in the shadows, with just all over the place, and
in the shadows, Sirius XM's official NBA station.
I mean, let's all just calm down. No one's watching Nick's show.
What are your top?
Love you, Nick.
What are your top 5 moments, Mike? Do you have any more to say? I mean, on this subject, because I'd like this beef to escalate into a place where we are accusing him of something, and Fox News of being immoral, as Fox News always is.
It's not escalating. That sounds like, oh, it's in the process. It's escalated. Yeah. Beef right now. Wow. Nick Wright and this show.
Wow.
Yeah, you guys are in it too. You guys are on my side.
I like Nick.
I like Nick
I like
too.
Nick.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I actually
I like
think he
Nick.
made it a little
I'm
bit
not
better.
sure that
Yeah.
He's not the one that didn't come up with this first. I mean,
I gotta be
graphic.
honest.
He's got a graphic.
I gotta be
Yeah.
honest. I'm kind of a fan of what Nick does.
You're a fan?
He's great. Yeah, he really
Yeah,
is.
he's very good.
great
There's
eyes.
happy
dude.
people
Yeah.
who steal
Yeah.
things.
Great.
He
Great
sold
decision
them
to grow
to
out
your
his hair.
friends.
Very well dressed.
Yeah.
Good looking man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you might be going
Tall.
this one alone. You're going to have to go without us on this one. But good luck, Nick, in monetizing an idea better than Amin does after you've stolen it.
Et tu, Brutus?
Mike Ryan, what is the top 5 that you've got cooking?
Top 5 moments in American hockey history.
Wow. I know number 1.
Well, where did this come from? Okay. Yes, you do know number
Because
1.
we were talking about
TJ
TJ
Oshie.
Oshie.
Yeah.
We all know number 1, do we not, Stugotz?
Well, we think we know number
Yeah,
1.
I mean, you started number 1 and you work your way back with this list. Number 5, the women taking the gold in the 1998 Nagano Olympics.
Yeah, that was big. That was big.
Yeah.
Huh?
Number 4, the 1996 Hockey World Cup. Finally, the greatest generation of American hockey players got some hardware on the international stage. Brett Hull, Tony Amonte, Brian Leach, Richter. Great moment in American hockey.
I think LeClaire was on that team too, right?
Yeah, name all the American hockey players you know. They probably were on that
About it.
team.
Yeah.
All right, number 3, TJ Oshie's 4 out of 6 penalties.
Amazing.
So this is a lot like what is the most famous hockey game in American history. People kind of confuse that with the gold medal game. I thought TJ Oshie had that to send us to the gold medal game, and I thought it was one shot. I didn't remember that he actually nailed 4 out of 6 penalties because international hockey rules, the coach can keep going to the same guy. And it was in a preliminary game against Russia. Huh. Didn't know that. But it's still in my top 5.
A prelim.
Yep. All right. Number 2, Christmas. Also, number 2 is the Miracle on Ice.
What? What?
Yeah.
That's number 2?
That's number 2.
What do you mean
Yeah.
that's number 2?
That's
What do you
number
mean?
2.
That
They
can't
won
be
everything
number
that
2.
day.
That
Yeah.
can't be number 2.
I don't know. I don't think Carter is Carter American?
That can't be number.
If we
that
finally
can't-
start this
Mike,
dialogue, we
this
can get
list
the-
is all wrong.
No,
this
number
list-
1 is obvious.
No, wait. This list is infuriating.
Mike.
Number 2
number-
is obviously number 1.
No, number
Mike,
1. Number
Mike.
1 is the 1994 Junior Goodwill Games final against Iceland.
Yeah.
You have to remember,
Good call.
Iceland was all over the knuckle puck that game. Russ couldn't get a shot. What does Gordon Bombay do? Disguises him as Goldberg, the goalie. The goalie! Yells, knuckle puck goes into the back of the net. Then, in another Just classic Gordon Bombay move. Takes out Goldberg again, puts in Julie the Cat Gaffney, and stops glove side. Gunner Stall.
Please stop.
Incredible.
Let's go shake their hands.
Mike Ryan, this person is coming after you because this all needs to escalate. We are headed into a big one. Tonight is legitimate playoffs. Tonight for the first night, really, of basketball in this town now, as you see all throughout the sport. Oh, okay, this is the cream. This is clearly, like, Jokic is great. We all know it. Not get out of here. These are the best teams. This is what they look like. And Miami, Bill Simmons is calling them a weird team. As analysis, I believe that's how people are looking at Miami, because someone writes in, Mike Ryan, the single most infuriating and frustrating part about the Joel Embiid injury is that the Miami Heat are the least intimidating team left in the playoffs. You mean we're supposed to be afraid of a team that gives Gabe Vincent and Max Strus meaningful playoff minutes? Yeah? No.
I saw that tweet. I mean, they gave minutes to Matthias Thybulle.
They have no choice.
They play loads of bad players over there. I'm totally fine. I'll be at this game. It'll be a big game once it gets started, and I have faith that the Miami Heat will win this game. I'm not going to overreact to a team that had lost 2 games since March, all of a sudden, losing a second game back-to-back, in which we all left that game saying if Miami just executes a little bit better, if some shots just start going in, if James Harden just doesn't go absolutely galactic from outside, we're totally fine. So I'm not going to stress this.
And speaking of Gabe Vincent, it needs to be mentioned that Kyle Lowry obviously is not healthy. I mean, the past 2 games since he's come back from missing 4 with the hamstring, he's just not himself.
Well, Greg, no. You can't give the Miami Heat the benefit of the doubt when it comes to injury. They haven't gotten that all season long. This is all about Embiid gutting it out.
No.
You cannot mention that Kyle Lowry is hurt.
No,
yes,
You
cannot mention that the Miami Heat are playing this series without a natural point guard. You can't do that.
I mean, this is where Mike starts to sound ridiculous, because
what? That's a fact. I haven't once brought up Kyle Lowry. I've been waiting, thankful that someone else can actually apply that a former All-Star and a former NBA champion isn't out there healthy. I'm sorry. That's a loser's lament, I guess.
Well, the thing that you're forgetting is that Philadelphia, the only time you had confidence in this series, was missing a guy who's the MVP of the league and vastly more valuable than this Kyle Lowry hamstring.
I'm telling you, I have confidence right now. Philadelphia won 2 home games in the postseason. Joel Embiid is a very good player. Miami's going to win those games if they hit threes.
Call it in 6
Mike,
right now.
Mike, Joel Embiid is not a very good player. You've got 4 very good players.
What? No, he's more than a very good player.
He's a great player.
I'm trying to help you out.
Mike,
You're the guy that's shitting on Joel Embiid. I have ultimate respect for him.
What are you doing?
You said that he's not a very good player.
Joel Embiid's a bad player then?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What are you saying, Dan? Be clear.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, seriously.
Okay.
Juju, you know what to do.
I mean,
He's going to catch all the flames from Philadelphia. I've been out here calling the guy the MVP.
You have. Yep.
That'd be great. It's if I get into a national controversy because I've said that he's not a very good player.
I love the idea that people will believe it too. They'll just see that. Look, yeah, I mean, they'll believe it. They'll believe it. They'll see that picture of Dan and they'll say, "quote Joel Embiid is not a very good player." Unquote.
And he's going to put up the picture of me that I was wearing at the F1 race,
That's
and
right.
I'm going to be embarrassed by it.
You said it. Can't put smoke back in the cigar.
Where'd you find clogs?
Those are orthopedic shoes.
Yeah.
Get insults, man. I got to help you out.
No, I've worn in shame the last 2 days cooler shoes. We need to take a picture of them because
what
do you have? Let me see.
I will show everybody what I'm wearing now, but what I'm telling you is they make my back hurt. So it's like a woman choosing to
You should get UFOs.
You really should. Seriously.
Oh, my
I walk
dad
around the house.
Slides. Yep.
Yeah.
Dan, feel the ooh.
What is that?
Wow.
Why are you showing me the bottom?
Those are Nike high tops. Air Jordans?
No, those are just. What?
I think it's Air Jordan.
Those are Jordans. Those are ones.
Those are ones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Black on black.
Mm-hmm. Looking good.
Are they mids? Are they mids?
They're
Are
uncomfortable.
they high
Are
top
they
or low
real?
top or are they mid?
They look kind of fake.
They are uncomfortable.
Fake shoes.
And
But you wanted to look cool?
I've been
Or
embarrassed.
cooler?
I did not want to look cool. I was made to feel self-conscious and shamed enough by the internet for wearing orthopedic shoes that the last 2 days I have chosen to not wear those shoes.
So basically, you're wearing Jordans, basically, aren't you?
Do you know how embarrassing it is to me to be someone who wears orthopedic shoes? Like, I should not have worn those there. I should have gone uncomfortably and walked the miles that you had to walk to
You
get
need to
there.
stop caring what people think.
Seriously.
You're going to be so much happier. When
I
you
mean,
stop.
you're old,
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
married.
Look
What
at
do
me.
you
Yeah.
care?
I
I mean,
look-
geez.
You need to care about what everybody thinks. That way you're not subject to national embarrassment again.
I was legitimately ashamed. I'm not kidding you. This does not happen to me this very often because I just thought of like going to this F1 race. This is how ignorant I was, would be like going to the Green Tree practice field for like a scrimmage, right? That this is this sport that's coming to the mainstream and it's a big event, but I did not think it was going to be the Kentucky Derby. I did not think it would be celebrities and people all dressed. It was just a really hot day at the track, and the day before I melted through everything I was wearing, so I had no idea that by the end of this day I would be physically falling apart because of the clothes I had on, trying to just be comfortable in that weather.
But people were calling it the Super Bowl of F1. Now, I'm with you. Like, it's 97 degrees out. Let it fly. Wear what you got to wear to be comfortable. It's ridiculous that thing turned into a fashion show. In fact, I think F1, that's really the attraction. It's these celebrities. It's how you look. It's having drinks.
I did not
to
know
race.
it was that. I legitimately,
ridiculous.
just huge ignorance on my
That's
part.
hilarious to me that you did not know an F1 inaugural Miami Grand Prix would not be a major sporting event.
Look who's criticizing you. Look,
I know, but this is why I'm feeling
Why the
shame.
argument doesn't hold water. If Greg knows, you knew.
Seriously. I mean, I knew about it.
If Greg knew about the scene that was the Miami Grand Prix, you should have absolutely known.
Tom Brady was there in a suite. Must be a big event.
He wasn't wearing orthopedics.
Greg, did you go?
I did not go.
Greg, if you had gone, what would you have worn?
I would have dressed up more than Le Batard did. I wouldn't have worn basketball shorts and a T-shirt. I'll tell you that.
Well, but you would have thought you were going to a press box, correct? You would have thought you were going to some air-conditioned place.
You thought you were going to a suite, right?
I did not think I was going to a suite. I knew from the day before that I was going to a barn. That I was going to some place that was going to be
A barn. Oh my God.
a barn.
Dan's
Garage.
unveiling his newest character, the Projector. This local hour.
I didn't see any cows or anything. Was it an actual barn?
It was hot. It was wooden.
The asphalt was melting. That's how hot it was.
It was wood. The wood. When I say, I mean like going. You have to understand. We were in a parking lot. You guys understand that everything that's around there, no matter what they were putting on it, is normally just the giant parking lot that is asphalt around that stadium.
Someone handed me a Lexus when I walked in. I don't understand. A barn? What is happening? I drove home in a Lexus.
You saw the pictures of the track, right?
He thought he went to the Kentucky Derby. I mean,
Dan went to F2 apparently.
I have breaking news here, by the way. Tom Brady will join Fox Sports as lead NFL analyst once his career is over. So we're about 10 years away from that happening.
May I ask you who's reporting that?
That is John Orand. I don't know.
Okay, no, that's a legit. Is that it?
With a blue
Actually,
check mark. Yeah.
Blue check mark?
Yeah.
It's not like a.
No, it's real. It's
Okay.
real. Yes.
That's
With Kevin Burkhardt.
wow. That's a
Yes.
massive get for Fox.
Yeah.
That is surprising too.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, Lachlan Murdoch is being quoted on this. Maybe it's on like an investor call or something. Lachlan Murdoch, the son of Rupert.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Lachlan. What kind of a name is that?
A rich one.
A very rich one.
Lachlan.
Yeah.
Okay.